So even though you had a federal suit against him, he didn't recuse himself?
Nope. No. He's supposed to, but he wouldn't. He would not.
Bruce Kaufman.
Yeah, he's retired.
I don't know how you can call some of these people your honor. I don't think they're honorable. They don't even follow their own statutes, their own rules, the Constitution of the United States. Well, you know, for all you ladies listening, I got to give you a lot of credit, though, and you know, because you have a, you have a lot of courage. I'd still be angry.
Well, I mean, eventually, the way I look at life is there's a reason for everything. If you, and I'm not trying to be religious, but you know that story of Joseph in the Bible where he got put in prison unjustly and accused of the rape unjustly, and eventually that gave him an opportunity to show his skills to some other inmates with him, that he could interpret dreams, and then eventually the Pharaoh had a bad dream, and then eventually he got to be the second guy in charge. So it's a very weird story, and later on when his brothers came to him, he said, you know, you guys meant it for evil, what you did to me, because you were jealous of me, because our dad liked me the best because I was the youngest. But it all worked out to where what was meant for evil turned for good. And I know that's very difficult when you're going through it. I went through it. I could say this.
Right.
That's not a lot of comfort sometimes to people to say this will all work out if you believe and if you have the right attitude and you look at things as, you know, that there's a purpose and everything. But at the time, it still doesn't justify what people do to you.
You know, so many times on this program, in the family rights and children's rights movement, we have heard from the same people over and over again. And I think that the family rights movement in New Mexico has not gone anywhere. We have not made one bit of progress because there's just one or two people that want to stroke their own egos and not help the benefit of the wider picture, which is all the parents and all the children that are mistreated. So I've got to ask you some questions. I'm gonna go ahead and ask you, what do you think needs to change in our state of New Mexico?
Well,
I've got a whole bunch of questions
I've thought
for you.
of this specifically, and I ran for state representative the last go-round, and that wasn't a good cycle for the party which I belong to, but that's fine, be it as it is. But one of the things that I wanted to do was have a jury trial for contested custody cases.
Jury trial. Okay, number one, we want a jury trial.
Right.
Why can't, you know, you've probably studied the law more than some attorneys probably in our fair city of Albuquerque and probably across the state as far as family law goes, because they use the same approach. It's all done behind closed doors, or they get the you know. So, okay, so jury trials. Why are we not allowed jury trials in New Mexico for family law cases?
Because they don't allow it. They're not specifically any law that says you have to have it. So therefore they can actually make judicial rules. They can make court rules. So without a legislative law, a mandate that says you're specifically entitled to that, the court rules can simply say, in domestic relation cases, you're not allowed a jury trial. As simple as that.
Are you going to run again?
I don't know. I've been helping other people in campaigns.
Where did you run?
District 21.
In Rio
which is the
Arriba?
Lower Heights. No, right here.
Oh, right here in Albuquerque.
Yeah, but I helped Dave Robbins get elected, the APS school board member, and R.J. Berry recently got elected, and so.
Does R.J. Berry have any interest in? Does he know?
He knows a little bit
about what's happening.
A little bit about it.
Can you talk to him?
I will
about the
see
jury
him
trials
tomorrow at lunch.
I mean, the jury trials is significant because there's unlimited discretion.
Right.
And it's polluting the system. It's giving one person way too much power. And I don't think the judges have the child development training to be making these decisions.
Well, there's also another problem. I'd like to change the law that is not in the way it's written now, it says in the best interest of the child. Okay, that is not historically the definition of a family. That's not the way families are defined. Historically, if you look for 4,000 years, No one said, what's best for this child?
Well,
They said, what's best for this family unit?
well, they are giving children far too much power.
Well, the problem is,
that what you're talking
you're
about?
not actually giving the child power. You're appointing a guardian ad litem who speaks on behalf of the child, and then the court appoints that. So actually the court has the voice. It's like a ventriloquist. The child is the puppet, and it can't speak, and someone else is controlling it and actually,
I see what you're saying.
and actually giving the words to it. So they're saying that they're doing in the best interest of the child, but it's really just a bait and switch method to have control.
No, wait, this is far too juicy, far too good to let you, what you just said, you've got to say that again. You've got basically the guardian ad litem. He's got a puppet, which is the child.
Right.
And the guardian ad litem is also supposed to be representing the child, but isn't it a conflict of interest because they're an arm of the court too?
In my opinion, that's why a jury trial is necessary, because it allows other people to be triers of the facts, and rather than the facts be given by a guardian ad litem or a psychologist who can be paid to give a certain kind of opinion.
Well, we're talking with Howard Delacourt Bancroft. Okay, Howard. Okay, we've got jury trials.
Right.
I don't know. Let's get rid of the guardian ad litems.
The best interest of the family.
Okay, so we've got jury trials, and we want to go for the best interest of the family.
Right.
The family unit.
Right.
Which will preserve the family.
Right. And what that does is it also changes it so the most cooperative parent gets the benefit of the doubt. See, the court system right now is adversarial. It pits two people against each other to the benefit of the attorneys making money. The more conflict, the more error, the more money the attorneys make. Now, that's not the way it should be. That's a way that disadvantages everybody, because the angry parent, the one who is trying to remove or isolate the children, is the one who first runs to the court. That's the petitioner. Well, the person who gets to say what they want in the beginning ends up many times being in control of the case.
Well, where's the judge in all this? Why isn't the judge listening and figuring this out? That's what the judge is supposed to do.
Well, that's why we need a jury trial, because the judge should only make decisions of the law, and the jury determines facts, and it allows them to gather those facts during the court hearing.
When you were running, did you present this argument?
I did. I met a lot of people, regardless of their party, who identified with my concerns and were supportive.
This is what's so remarkable, Howard, is that these issues are not Democrat, not Republican. Right. They are pro-family.
Right.
Everybody is affected.
Right.
Do you have any other suggestions that you'd make?
Well, I also was very instrumental in the writing and passage of the fourth degree custodial interference bill. I actually was the one, part of a whole parents group, that proposed that and pushed that through.
Is it part of the law?
It is part of the law, but it's only being used in a civil matter. So for example, if you're the non-custodial parent, you're prevented from seeing your kids that weekend, you call the police and they say, well, you need to contact the district attorney. When I helped to write that law, I wrote it so that the police could go to the door and say, look, lady or man, whoever the custodial parent is, this man has a court order that he is supposed to see his children. Unless you're alleging something criminal, you must adhere to this court order, or you are in fact committing a crime.
Well, in the 4th Judicial District, when I talked to the 4th Judicial District, which is Las Vegas, Mora, you know, Santa Rosa, the district attorney, Richard Flores, stated that this only has to do with long periods of kidnapping. And it is my understanding that no district attorney in the 4th Judicial District has ever enforced a child custody order.
Well, he's wrong, because I helped to write it.